Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and today is Friday, July 10th, 2015. And in this video, I wanted to take a look at gold. I see quite a few technical developments. Gold may be setting up for a nice long side entry here soon. Maybe I'll go over that. There's some potential bullish developments in the charts. And I'll also cover what will happen if gold continues lower. There's, of course, always an alternative scenario to just about any trade. So we're looking here at a daily chart of gold, and what we're going to focus on first are these oversold readings. I've talked about this on the past. You can reference the static charts on the site. This is the GLD, the tracking ETF for gold. Very liquid, tracks gold very well, so I'll often use this on charting and trading. So what we're looking at on the very bottom, let's get the MACD out of the way for now here. What we're looking at on the bottom are the each and every oversold reading over the last 2 years. So this is a 2-year daily chart, and again, this has been mentioned on the site. Very simple but effective. Once gold reaches oversold readings, which is a level of 30 or below on the RSI 14, it has I want to use the word usual, but in this case, always been followed by substantial rallies. In other words, tradable rallies, more than just a few percentage points. Some of those come early. If you look at just follow the arrow up on the vertical line here on the crosshairs, you'll see this one came just a couple weeks early. To be exact, it was about if you look at the box on the lower left there, it tells me that was about 17 days or 13 bars, meaning 13 trading sessions and about 2.5% before the bottom. So not too bad if you can tolerate a 2.5% drawdown and getting in a couple of weeks early. That definitely did the trick for you there. And in most cases, the lows came much closer within. If you look at the follow the vertical line up here, you can see that this oversold reading came right with that bottom, and so forth and so on. As I said, you can, of course, easy to replicate this on your own chart. But you can see in this case, the oversold reading came, but it stayed oversold, and then once it crossed back below, which is often a trigger I like to use as well, when using an oversold reading to help confirm, or an overbought reading, and that for that matter, to help confirm a buy or sell signal. It's often prudent to wait to see the reading cross back above the 30 line or back below the 70 level on a sell signal, and that was the case here. That's when the bottom was in. And had you taken the signal right when it came ahead, again, you'd be in a couple weeks early, maybe a few percentage points early. But point is, we're looking at a 2-year chart. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signals shown on this chart, 5 oversold readings. Each and every one was followed by a substantial rally. Anywhere from this rally looks about a 15%. I didn't even hit the bottom, so that was over 15, 16% right there. And as you can see, each one of these were fairly substantial. Now what I'll do here is go and click on a 2-day period chart. One of the limitations with the TC2000 charting program, which I'm using here, which is similar to the freestockcharts.com platform, is you can only go back 200 periods on any chart. And what that does, it gives you a 2-year time history on a daily time frame. If you want to look a little farther, you click on a 2-day, change it to a 2-day period, and that'll double and give you 4 years. So what we're looking at here, I just wanted to point out, and again, this has been highlighted on the site in the past. This goes back 4 years. Each of the white arrows represents a cross below on the RSI. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3, twice, numerous signals. Each and every one, as I said, you can look at the scaling here. It might not look like much, but if I catch the bottom of that, where that oversold reading came, and go up to the top, you're looking at about roughly a 14 or so percent rally there. And as you can see, a lot of these rallies were even considerably higher than that, a few lower, but each and every one of those were tradable. So if you got in at these oversold readings, you did well in gold. And so this is where we're at today. Something to point out, for those of you watching, if this looks like it might not hit the oversold level, the 30 level, that's not the case in a daily time frame. As I said, a limitation here, I had to flip to a 2-day time period, and that skews the RSI a little bit. This was the late 2013 and the looks to be about the June 2014 lows. We can go back to the daily chart, and here's those same lows. You can see we actually did indeed reach the oversold level. So just wanted to point that out for those of you who might have caught that on that 2-day period chart. And so now, what does that bring us to where we're at today? Here we are, gold looking at a triple bottom right now. We had the lows back here in November 14, some March lows, and we're coming up now on those lows, and we're also coming up to the first oversold reading since this last one back in March, which, as you can see, brought the GLD up from about the 109.50-ish level, we'll call it, all the way up to about nearly 118. So a nice tradable rally there as well. I believe that one was pointed out at the time. So I would love nothing more than to see gold come down, one final plunge. And also just looking at this chart, as I just pointed out here, we have that positive divergence forming. I'll put the MACD back up. You can see the MACD is poised to make a higher low. Should gold come down, if we zoom in closely, you can see I have both a white horizontal line here that really cuts these two previous lows, and I use this orange uptrend line because there's a very slight sloping uptrend from that previous reaction low, and we just hammered off that the other day. It is possible that the buyers step in here and gold takes off and never comes back down lower. Maybe this uptrend line was in play, but what I would like to see ultimately is this yellow downtrend line, which comes off the October 2012 highs. And again, I have to click back to that 2-day time period. You can see a nice clean downtrend there. Let's get back to the daily chart. What happens, we had a breakout, proved to be a false breakout. Prices fell down, but have since come back up above that line and have been back testing it. So let's just take a look, zoom in at the recent price action. If we do breach the previous lows here, what that would do, it would obviously first and foremost be a bit of a flush out move. It would wash out a lot of the final weak-handed longs, might draw on some short sellers, and it could even bring us down for another back test of this yellow downtrend line at lower levels. And if that happens, the best case scenario, or to keep the bullish scenario intact, it would be nice to see the MACD and the RSI make higher lows, or at the very least maybe an equal bottom. We call that flatline divergence. Maybe price goes on to make a new marginal new low, and as long as we don't set new lows in the MACD and the RSI, that would put us give us some divergence in place. So that's taking a look at gold from the daily time frame. Now let's take a look at the weekly time frame, bigger picture, and see what we're looking at here. Something else I pointed out in the past is this sort of falling wedge type pattern. Again, we're looking at a weekly chart here. This goes back 10 years, and as I've mentioned in the past, this bottom downtrend line here. Every time gold has tagged that downtrend line, that's resulted in substantial, very tradable rallies. And, of course, I'm just talking about the metal here. And as most of you know, I like to trade the miners. If you can get the call on gold right, the miners are essentially a leveraged play. So if gold goes up 10%, I can assure you that there's going to be plenty of miners out there that go up 20, 30, 40%. It's almost always the case. So again, let's follow the metal first, and then we'll see about picking some of the more attractive miners if and when this plays out. So either way, looking at this, zooming in, ideally, again, here's that triple bottom that we're looking at recently, these two lows. So let's say we do get a flush out move. One might allow for that to go all the way down here to about, I'm looking in the future, I'm going ahead a couple weeks. This would be in the end of the month, so say late July, early August, right where the crosshairs are. And that's about the 107 level, maybe a little bit lower, 106.90. That would cause, as I said, a nice flush out move. Not only do we have the positive divergence that I mentioned on the daily chart, we still have some strong bullish divergences here in place on the weekly chart. And, as prices are wedging down here, the PPO, which is similar to the MACD, better used on a long-term time frame, and the RSI both have positive divergence. Prices are still trading. I've pointed out these Fibonacci clusters. hard to really make out on this video. There's two overlapping, nearly perfectly overlapping fib retracement levels. Let's just go back here to zoom out to a 7-day period, and then you can see them. This is the bull market rally off the 2005 lows. You can see that strong bull market in gold came up that blue price channel, the ascending channel, broke down over here. And the blue fibs right here represent, the moves off that level. So right now, if you look at this one, there's a yellow fib, which I should show you. That comes off the 2008 lows. Back here, we had a major reaction low, so I placed a Fibonacci retracement levels there. Both of those come off the highs. Either way, that's a fib cluster. That's the 50 and 61.8 fib of those two retracement levels. And that's where prices are still hanging around. We're a little bit below that fib cluster. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I mentioned, what's the bearish scenario? Maybe this support level gives way. Maybe if we break these lows, it's more than just a brief, marginal new low. The next key support, I don't have a horizontal line put on this chart, but if you follow the crosshairs and look at the horizontal line, there's some very solid support. Quite a few reactions here right at that horizontal line. It comes in. Again, it's a weekly chart, and I'm zoomed out, so we'll call it roughly 98.80. That's what it's showing to the right of the screen. And if you'll also notice, there's a nice fib cluster there as well, just below that at the both the 61.8 and the 78.6 fib. So, bearish case scenario, I could see gold going down there, and I would be loading the boat at that level. If and when we got there, things would get pretty ugly. Sentiment would be as bad as it could be, even worse than it is right now, obviously, if we get down there in the coming months. But as of now, again, going back to the daily chart, let's just keep an eye on these this scenario. In other words, a retest, or ideally a break below a slightly new low. I'd like to see this RSI down here. Right now we're at a little bit above the oversold reading. I'm looking at 38.39. We got a little lower recently, but we didn't yet quite cross or even tag that 30 level line. So that's what I'm looking at, and I think it's definitely worth a shot there. Assuming the charts confirm at the time, it might be worth a shot, at least at a partial position in gold, both as a potential long-term swing trade, because that could be, the final bottom. Gold's been trying to pound out a bottom here for last couple of years. Or it may just be another trade, and we did very well. We were in it long at each of these bottoms, even over the last couple of years, even these over here. So that's something I'm looking out for. Okay, to wrap this video up, let me just go over a couple of my other charts. I have quite a few different charts on those. We were looking at GLD. Here's spot gold. This goes back a few years. This is a daily chart here, daily time frame. I don't want to spend too much time on this, just showing the past history of gold. We used to have this 1180 key support resistance level I harped on since all the way back here in 2013. And again, nice trade off the bottom there. We were able to buy gold several times off the bottom. Over here, I predicted the potential for a flush out move, which is what we had. We had a break of that support. Everybody was watching that, obviously, because it was a well-watched level. And then the reaction off there following that breakdown, as expected, was very powerful. So we were able to get a nice trade off there once gold recovered that 1180 level. And since then, we've sliced through it a little, quite a few times. And what that does to me, it diminishes that level. When a support level, once it's taken out, especially once it's sliced through like it's not there anymore. There's been some reactions here. You can see that 1180 is held, but I just wanted to say I'm not putting as much stock into that 1180 level as I was before. But right now I'm just watching, for ideally a marginal new low. Possible I may start scaling in sooner. I haven't yet. Still have some long-term gold positions, but I'm talking more in the trading account. And looking here, this, of course, these green boxes highlight all those oversold readings I just talked about before. And again, you can replicate this on your chart and see that had you bought gold there and likewise sold at these overbought readings, you would have done very well. And that's about as simple yet as an effective a strategy for trading gold as I could imagine. So again, looking for the next oversold reading in gold for a buy signal. Here's another view of the weekly chart. I already went over that in the on the TC2000 charts. This is stock charts, and again, this is spot gold as well. So, one of my concerns. This was a major uptrend line off the 2000 and early 2001 lows. This solid black trend line, and which we broke below. So that overall is a longer term bearish technical event. However, what's keeping me interested in gold and not really caring to short it at this point is the fact we do have these strong positive divergences. As I mentioned, we have divergences on the daily and here on the weekly chart, and you can see they're pretty steep divergences. With that blue falling wedge. And let's see if we can go forward to one more. Okay, this is also a weekly chart of gold, just another variation. And we can see this red-green line is a support line right now, and you can almost draw sort of a descending triangle. You could draw the same, you can call it a falling channel, descending triangle pattern if you wanted to really flatten the bottom out there. The important thing is if prices make a solid break under this green line here, or below that falling wedge pattern that I mentioned, that will be bearish, and that will probably bring us down to those levels that I mentioned earlier on the weekly chart of gold. But as you look here, from this reaction low back in 2008, here's Fibonacci levels. We're right on. That's 61.8. I know it might be hard to make out here, but that's what that's listing. Comes in roughly 1155. These are hand-drawn, not auto-generated, so don't hold that 1155 number. It's not exactly that, but either way, it lines up pretty well. And so gold is and has been dancing around. That's a key Fibonacci retracement. Typically, the tail end of what I like to see during a retracement, if a stock price takes out much more than that, and then it's probably going to go a lot lower, and it's probably more than just a retracement within a larger uptrend. So, again, levels to watch. And although I'm saying this can go either way, in trading, at some point I like to keep it simple. And that's buy support, sell breaks of support. So right now we have gold coming to support, and had we not have, or do we not have these bullish divergences in place in both the daily and the weekly time frame? And do we not have those RSI oversold signals coming up that have worked so well in the daily time frame? I probably wouldn't be interested in taking a shot at gold long here. In fact, I might even consider getting ready to position for a breakdown to go short. So anyways, that's gold. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I will keep I'll keep these charts updated on the site, as well as any significant developments that I see. This has been Randy Finney with the Right Side of the Chart. Hope you enjoy.